In the heart of 1930 Chicago, a city teeming with danger, opportunity, and intrigue, two con artists, Johnny Hooker and Henry Gondorff, joined forces for a daring and elaborate scheme. Their target? A ruthless crime lord named Doyle Lonnegan, a man as cunning as he was dangerous, and someone who had made enemies of everyone who crossed his path. Johnny Hooker was a small-time grifter with a knack for smooth-talking his way into and out of trouble. But when he and his partner Luther pulled a fast con on a courier carrying Lonnegan's dirty money, their victory was short-lived. Lonnegan's wrath was swift and brutal. Luther paid with his life, leaving Hooker desperate for revenge but out of his depth. On the advice of a dying Luther, Hooker sought out Henry Gondorff, a washed-up but brilliant con man hiding from the FBI. Gondorff was reluctant at first, but Hooker's determination and personal vendetta reignited his long-dormant fire for the game. Together, they decided to pull off the big con, a legendary ruse known as the Wire. Gondorff and Hooker assembled a team of seasoned grifters, each with a specific role to play in the intricate con. From fake bookies to shifty gamblers, every piece of the puzzle had to fit perfectly. The goal? To trick Lonnegan into betting and losing an enormous sum of money in a rigged horse race. The first step was gaining Lonnegan's trust. Hooker, under the alias Kelly, infiltrated one of Lonnegan's high-stakes poker games aboard a luxury train. Using sleight of hand and sheer audacity, Hooker out-cheated Lonnegan, infuriating the crime lord but piquing his interest. Lonnegan believed Kelly was a rival who could make him a fortune in the betting world. The con's centerpiece was a fake betting parlor designed to look like a legitimate operation. Gondorff, posing as a bookmaker named Shaw, lured Lonnegan into believing that he had inside information on fixed horse races. The illusion was flawless, actors played roles as employees and customers, and the wiretap system appeared to provide results of races before they were public. Hooker fed Lonnegan just enough wins to build his confidence while sowing the seeds of greed. By the time the final fixed race came around, Lonnegan was all in, wagering an obscene amount of money. But the results were rigged, and Lonnegan lost everything in the blink of an eye. As Lonnegan realized he'd been duped, federal agents, led by Agent Polk, stormed the betting parlor. Chaos erupted as shots were fired, and it seemed Gondorff and Hooker had turned on each other. To Lonnegan's horror, both men appeared to be gunned down in front of him. Fearing for his life, he fled the scene, leaving the money behind. But as soon as Lonnegan was gone, the dead men sprang to life. The federal agents were part of the con, actors in the elaborate play. The blood was fake, the gunshots were blanks, and the entire setup was dismantled and cleared within hours. Lonnegan would never know who had tricked him, and the team walked away with their prize. For Hooker, the sting was more than just revenge. It was a tribute to Luther's memory, a way to honor the man who had taught him everything he knew about the art of the con. Gondorff, too, found a renewed sense of purpose in orchestrating the elaborate scheme. As the team dispersed, each member taking their share and disappearing into the shadows, Hooker declined his cut of the money. For him, the victory was enough. He walked away into the Chicago night, a small-time grifter no more but a legend in his own right. And thus, in a world of deception, betrayal, and fleeting alliances, Johnny Hooker and Henry Gondorff proved that even the greatest villains could be outplayed, with the right plan, a touch of finesse, and a little bit of luck.